Hey everybody, my name is Missy. I am not with, but I am Southern Theory Designs. Um, this is going to be a tutorial on how to do tattoo tumblers up into the epoxy part, because you should know how to do the epoxy by now. But let's get started. I did do a lot of prep before for sake of time, because I know might run a little long because I'm a talker. I don't know if you have seen tattoo tumblers yet, but these are where you use temporary tattoos. This is a full sleeve temporary tattoo, one of my favorites. We are a military family, and this is a beautiful army one. You can get this one on Amazon from Dalin, D-A-L-I-N, and they sell them singles in packs of 4s. I think they even sell them in packs of 20s, and they look really good. So I'm going to show you first what it looks like on a 30-ounce tumbler. What I found with a 30-ounce tumbler, that it doesn't actually fit all the way, so you do have to do some blending on a prepped, you need a prepped cup. You'll have to do some blending with acrylics. I like alcohol inks. It works better because I can take it off easier if I don't like it and change the color a little easier than alcohol inks, but whatever you like. I know that they don't always match up perfectly. That's okay, because this is homemade. It's not supposed to be perfect, right? Right. So this is a finished product on a 30-ounce tumbler. This is a hog tumbler. This is my 30-ounce. Isn't it pretty? Love it. This one is sold. It will be going to a U.S. Army veteran friend. She got it for her husband for a gift. So this is what it comes out looking like. We're not going to do this today, though. I have a different one picked out. What I have found is they work better on 20-ounce slim tumblers. Here's one that I have yet to epoxy, but you can see how it works so much better on here. And I have a little bit that goes onto here, and this would be a really great place to personalize it, maybe put a name or just cover it up. It will still look fine. I didn't want to have to do any blending, so I left it white, but I was planning on putting something more personalized down there, even if it's an Army slogan, Army or whatever. Don't try to make this for a Marine, because they will be very mad at you, because this is about the 101st Airborne Division, which is out of Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Sorry, Army wife for over 20 years and Air Force mom 2 times over. So this is a great thing for an Army guy, girl, whichever you want. So that got me started on these tattoo tumblers. I fell in love because they are really, you're gonna see how easy they are to make. And when you see this one that I made this one, and I was gonna keep it, and I shared it with the group, and someone was like, I want that. So I actually did this tumbler, and another tumbler maker bought it from me, and it's on the last day of its cure. It's been curing for 72 hours, and I should be mailing it out tomorrow, if not the day after, when I get a chance to get to the post office. Let me show you this. This is really pretty. So this is epoxied and ready to go. I usually don't touch it, but I'm going to touch it just for the sake of showing you. It says Pamela. I don't know, it might be backwards for you guys, don't know. And on the bottom. So that's just where the tattoo comes down. So isn't that gorgeous? And this has been all sealed with epoxy. I did 3 layers of epoxy because I like it to be nice and, you know, thick. So I lay my tattoo, I do a coat of epoxy, I put the name down, and then I put 2 more coats. Not very thick coats, but just enough to do it. I don't want it to be too thick and bulbous. It's just not the kind of cups that I like. You can do it however you want. Oh, on this one, I know you can't see it because of the camera, but I used an iridescent alcohol ink. It looks like water, and I bought it because I thought that I would be able to use it on my wood grain tumblers, but when you put it out, when you squeeze it out and everything like that, it just beads like water. So what I found to do is take a tissue and rub it into the flat paint of your primer. And so if you look at this, you can kind of see a little shimmer. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a shimmer in there. You can't see it. on there, but there is a shimmer. Trust me, just a tiny bit. So that's what I used on this one. On the cup we're doing today, I am not doing the shimmer. This is actually a cup for me because I have yet to make myself a cup besides my first one. And my first one, I did a glitter cup, of course, because that's what we all do. And it has a little bit of Hawaiian sand in it from one of our vacations. And that's it. That's all I have. Let me get my hair out of my way here. My hair ends up in everything. So what you can do is, a lot of people ask, where do you get your tattoos from? What kind do you use? I go on Amazon. They're cheaper. A lot of people go on Wish and they get them from Wish. Well, I ordered some from Wish. Let me show you what I got. See the difference? Me too. So while these are really pretty, and they came from Wish, the color is on the other side, unlike these, which the color you can kind of see. So I got these from Wish, which I'm really looking forward to using these. I love this one. The color is really pretty on the other side that you can't see, and it fits perfectly on a 20 ounce. Look at that. Fits perfectly on a 20 ounce. So you get a couple, you glitter it, get a couple of them, or even, it might even look good on a very light wood grain or something like that. Maybe a blue wood grain. Might have to hold on to these. Well, then I also got these from Wish, and this is why I'm sticking with Amazon. So this. Now this would be great, but you see it still doesn't fit. But again, this will be nice for a different cup that I might use. Now, I will say these are not like water slides. Water slides you can move around. Once you lay your tattoo, you're committed. It's like marrying the two. You're not gonna change. Okay, so I've shown you these. This is how big they are. You wanna go onto Amazon and look for temporary tattoos, full sleeve. So those are the ones that are like, I don't know, full sleeve tattoos. Okay, and you can get them, you can get the military army ones, you can get those in batches like I said, or you can buy batches of mixing, you know, they'll show you like packs of 4, 8, 10, 12, 25. But some of them are not very nice looking. Some of them are kind of like, why'd they do that to the Statue of Liberty? I don't know. But some cute ones came with it. I'm not really a fan of this one, but if you have a man who likes, you know, tattoos, that might be something cool. And then you can get really, really bad ones like this. Yes, no, I'm not distorting this. It's distorted. Okay, but then again, you'll get some cute ones that come along with it. I love this one. Very pretty. And I have a ton here, and I'm not going to go through all of them with you, but some of my favorite ones. How pretty is that? This would be really pretty on like a silver glitter or a white glitter underneath. But so the one that I picked out, I've already gone and cut, and I'll show it to you. Let me see if I can piece it together. I cut all the excess off of it. So this is the one that I chose. And I have the extra pieces that won't fit on my cup, and I'll show you how to do that. And there's a reason I cut those off. Experience. So the one thing I will say is make sure you remember how it goes, because I just did a cup that had wording on it. I was playing with one and I did that, so you couldn't read it. I had to strip it. I was kind of bummed, but you know, what are you gonna do? Excuse me. Okay, back to the task at hand. So what you're gonna do, first of all, is, of course, prep your cup. And I always do white. You can do any color, but I really don't recommend doing a dark color because you want it to pop. These are done, believe it or not, on the same white background, and I use matte, and this is like black or silver, no, I'm sorry, gray alcohol inks up there. And I use a little, you know, makeup sponge to kind of blend it in and everything to make it look right. So you want to start off with a white base, and I cut this after I had put it on here and kind of figured out where I wanted it to lay. Look how pretty that's gonna be. So pretty. I can't wait to use it. And then you take the bottom part, you cut it off. And I made some cuts on it before this video for sake of time, and see how it was like right here, there wasn't nothing there. So I cut this to kind of fit into there, and I'm gonna wrap it around. And it's not a perfect wrap right now, but it's gonna kind of fit like this. And you see there's some like a little spot right here. That's where this comes in handy, as I can put that over here, or I can pick any of the other pieces that I have. So first things first, let's get this sucker on here. We'll start with the bigger piece. Yes, go big, go home. So it has a protective covering on it, and I'm sorry, I just spent 8 hours at work, and it's, you know, getting late, and I'm tired. So all of these come with a protective coating on them. You're gonna peel it off. Lay that to the side. You're not gonna need that again. Now, if you're gonna notice that it's a little tacky, that's how it's supposed to be. And you want to curve it, because the tacky part is gonna be the part that is actually going to adhere to your cup. I always recommend starting at the top, and if there's any overlay on the bottom, you can cut that. I like to leave a little bit on it because I roll it under the cup, so it kind of goes down. You'll see. A lot of people will say to use rubber bands. I don't use rubber bands. I'm freehanding this. And you want to make sure, and if it's a little too high, like right here, it's a little high, that's okay. So you want to make sure it's nice and tight. You don't want any air bubbles in there. You can hear it, right? So some of the tools that you're going to need to do this is, of course, scissors, tattoos, primed cup, a thing of water, and paper towels, of course. So let's start. What you're going to do is you're going to take your paper towel. I like to fold it because I'm kind of a neat freak like that. You're going to take it and you're going to start wetting it. And I always go from the middle and push up to make sure if there's any water, any air that gets underneath there, that you're going to push it out. You don't have to rush the process. Make sure it doesn't crinkle. And you can hold on to this if you want. It's not going to hurt it. And I will give you this little hint. If it does crinkle a little, don't worry. It's okay. It's not forgiving like water slides. You're not going to be able to move it around, but it will be fine. I promise you. Not that my promise means anything to you, but we can be friends and you can just trust me on this. And you see, I'm just keep getting it wet, and I keep trying to smooth out any air bubbles that might have gotten trapped in there, and it happens. I've never done a cup that did not have some air bubbles in there. This is crafting. It's not perfection. If it was perfection, it would be done on a big machine, and it would cost us a lot of money to buy it. Okay, I don't want to miss this side, so let me come over to this side a little. I'm trying to remember to keep my mouth shut because I'm always like, my husband likes to point that out to me when I'm working and doing this. Okay. And you want to make sure you get a really good adhesion, a lot of water, especially on these ends. And you can see I have some that's going to overlay. I just cut it, cut it, cut it. I do that for a reason. I'll show you. I'm going to take this and you fold it down see? And you're gonna fold it over. And I can feel it slipping and sliding in my hand a little bit, so I know the tattoo is ready. Oh, I can't wait. My first cup for me. Fabulous. Now you can take some water and gently get any air bubbles that you might have out. Again, you're not going to get them all out, so don't try. Keep your mouth closed. Now I'm sure there's more than one way to do this, but this is how I do it. You're watching my video, so I'm just going to tap it dry very gently. You don't want to put too much pressure on it because you don't want to rip the tattoo or stretch it, which I've seen some people do. How's that look? The bottom, don't worry if it's not perfect. We're going to do some work on that because I save everything. Crafters save everything. Every piece that I did not need that I cut off, they're fillers. So now what we're going to do is we're going to set it down gently. And we are going to make sure everything's down. And we're going to lay our second piece. Again, we're going to take this off, put it to the side. All this white is not going to be on there, so I'm just going to go ahead and trim that off. Now at this point, the paper is tacky, so don't hold it too tight. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It just helps you see where you're setting in a little better. Okay. And I had you dry off your other tattoo so you can kind of touch it and it not get all jacked up. Smooth it out. You just keep going over it. It's just like putting a tattoo on yourself. I don't know if any of y'all had temporary tattoos. I have a few, and these are much different than the ones we had when I was a kid. They're much better. They're very realistic looking too when you put them on. I tried. It was cool. I looked badass. My husband said I looked like a fool though. It's okay. He meant it in all love. None of it was nefarious in any way. Hair. Okay. I want to start with the bottom. Mouth closed. just a reminder what we're doing. Folding it down. Okay. Make sure it's all stuck to it. And I don't know if you saw, but I had a little bit of lift right there. So I'm just going like this and smoothing it out. You cannot pick this up like you can a water slide. So you have to just be very ginger with it. And if you have a bubble and it's not moving, just leave it. I'll show you how to fix that later. So far, there's a little white spot right there that I want to work on. I might have cut it a little too short. And this will probably be where I put a name, just because you're gonna have a seam on pretty much all your cups, especially if you're using tattoos and everything. You're gonna have overlaps, and there's really not much you can do about it unless you save. And I think I can, oh yes, put that right there. So I'm gonna cut it. This one still has the protective layer on it. Wait a minute, hold on, let me think about this for a second. That one might not work there, hold on. Don't you love when a plan doesn't come together? We're gonna try it. I don't know how it's gonna look. Hopefully it looks like just another, I wonder if I should take, no, because I'll do that. And so you see the spot right here. This is actually colored in a light gray. We might put something down there. I don't know, maybe. When I say crafters save everything, we save, I got a free tattoo. We'll say that. Okay. Well, hopefully where I put this looks good. That's the good thing with tattoo tumblers. Rarely will you lay something and it looks totally horrible. And it's okay if it goes over the top lip, because you can just use some wet sand paper or your X-Acto knife, which is over on my she cart, because I don't have a she shed. I have a he garage with a she cart in it. Get on that cup. I don't know if it's stuck yet. Are you stuck? Oh, yes, it's stuck. We'll have to make a determination if we like it. Okay. That's where I put that little thing there. I don't think it looks too bad. I'm trying to think if I need to work on this little white spot, but I really don't think I want to. I think I like that little white spot right there. I'm not sure, but like I said, that's where I'm gonna put the name. Okay, so the bottom, see how I did the bottom? You don't have to do it that way. That's just how I do it. So what we're gonna do, don't judge, is now I have all these leftovers and I really want to use them on the bottom. So I think Ooh, that looks amazing. So I'm going to cut this flower out. And I think I'm going to put it right there. Since it's a light color, I'm going to put it on the lighter portion. To be beautiful. Like, if you have any questions on how to do this, where to get your tattoos from, please feel free to reach out for me. I mean, you can see we've been going 26 minutes and I'm almost done with this cup. Once the cup is completed, I do recommend hang it upside down and you leave it for 24 hours. You want to make sure there is no water at all, and any water that has accumulated underneath the tattoo has evaporated, because that will screw with your epoxy and you really don't want it to screw with that. Because what's worse than bad epoxy? Nothing. Because the sad thing is, if you go to strip it, you're losing your tattoo that you really love. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little trim job here. Again, I use 20-ounce tumblers. The 30 ounces work, but you will have to blend with using alcohol ink or something. I feel like Pigpen here. Let's see, let's get a little bit more water on it. There's nobody, oh, we got enough water on it. Okay, that's one side of the bottom. Now let's figure out what we want to do with the other side of the bottom. So I have these two left, and I think that will be pretty. I know, close your mouth, Missy. You're letting all the flies out. I sound like my mom. Sorry, Mom. And the reason I have you fold it down is because sometimes you're not going to get a perfect size match when you want to do the bottom. I don't know if you saw this one, I didn't do a lot of trimming, but what I did trim, I thought it looked really pretty in conjunction. So this one I'm doing a little differently. This one I'm not, that one I just used strips. This one I'm actually using big pieces of what I cut off. I'm telling you, water bottles are da bomb diggity. That's my word, I'm sorry. And I'm just getting the tattoo wet so it adheres and releases from the tattoo paper. Isn't this easy? This is ridiculous easy. The hard part comes waiting 24 hours to put the epoxy on, because you want to see how it looks so bad with the epoxy on it. When I did the first Pamela cut over there, I was like, I don't know how this is gonna look. The epoxy made it pop so much. Actually, I wonder if I can do the iridescent alcohol ink on top of this. Shut the door, shut the door. We might be adding on to this tutorial. Lord, please don't let me screw it up, because I am so excited about this cup. It's not even funny. so far. I don't know, we'll see. So far, we got that on there. I think I might need to add a little something right here. Or maybe something very light in the middle to kind of blend it all in. Or should I do another flower? Sometimes it works a lot easier than this. Sometimes you just gotta be creative. I'm gonna do this. Sometimes it's just about playing and finding what looks good to you. And like I said, once you put the suckers on, that's it. They're on. There's no turning back now. This will probably be the last tutorial I ever do, because I don't think I'm a very good teacher. You don't have to do a lot of pressure on here. You really just want to get the paper wet. The paper is what's holding it. The tackiness of the tattoo is what's adhering already. I don't know if you can hear it, but it sounds like it's already adhered. So you don't have to do it really, really hard. You just tap it lightly, like you're tapping a baby's head. Good baby. I had a long day at work. This is therapy for me. So I don't mean to offend anybody. I do not condone tapping babies' heads. They're soft. It might hurt them. And I'm going to do one more, just for giggles, just to show you that you can layer these on top of each other, and it doesn't matter. It's not going to hurt anything. It's going to give it depth. Let's pick this up and show you. This is so much easier than glitter. It's right up there with alcohol grains, alcohol inks, grain alcohol. I swear I'm not a drinker. I do drink White Claw. I did make, I do have another tumbler. I made myself a White Claw tumbler. But it's like a sippy cup. I'm too old for sippy cups. I need something, and it's only like, did I do a 12 ounce or a 17 ounce? I think I did 12 ounce or something. It was the first time working with that can type tumbler, and I don't like the sippy part of it. I don't like to use straws because, ladies, straws promote wrinkles. I'm old. I know these things. Slip down a little. It's okay. It's okay, because it looks like it came down from that side. Okay, so I think I am done with this as far as, I probably could have done a little better on the bottom, but what I'll do is, if I don't like it after I do the first layer of epoxy, like I said, put a layer of epoxy on, see what it looks like. This was at one time kind of blah like this, but it looks like this now, okay? So we'll see how this one comes out. After I do a little iridescent pink, I'll show you. So So this is Brea Reese. I don't know if I said that right or not. And here it is backwards. So I got this, and it says it's an alcohol ink. It's an iridescent glitter. So how I did this, don't want my cup. How I did this one is I put it on when I had the paint, when I just finished priming it. This one we're gonna do a little differently. I don't think I have a dry, this is soaked, we don't use that. So y'all know I live in Savannah and I have the garage door open and my toes are freezing. Let me just make sure this is good down here. Shake it really good so you get the iridescent out. Now I'm going to show you, if y'all work with alcohol inks, you know how they like sit on there and you can like blend it. This stuff sits on there like a water drop. It's crazy. But I've never done it on top of a tumbler, like a tattoo tumbler before. That's how it sits on top. So let's just see how this goes. Ooh. Hello, battery. And I don't know where that piece of glitter came from. I don't know if you can see it, but it's gonna look very pretty. It's gonna give it just a little girly flair, which I'm very girly. That's not my husband's. It's my husband's work bench. And there's so much freaking glitter over here. Bless his heart. Manly man with glitter. Thank God his friends know that the glitter is from me. Now, by doing this iridescent alcohol ink on top of the tattoo, it's going to take it longer. It's going to take it longer to dry. So you're just going to have to be patient with it. But you are going to be so happy with it at the end. And you're going to have so much iridescent glitter on your fingers. You'll be like a fairy. You're going to sparkle. Don't forget the edges. I got a piece of glitter right there. I don't know where it came from, but we're just going to call that a happy little extra. And depending on how opaque you want it, or iridescent or whatever this is, you can come back and put another layer on after this dries. Okay, so there you have it. An iridescent on the outside glitter. I don't know if you can see it. It's just the smallest amount of sheen, but it does give it a little something extra. Peonies, I think. Like I said, that's where the name's gonna go, and that's my cup. So I hope you enjoyed my 40-minute long tattoo tutorial. Once you get it down to a science, I can get these stuff knocked out in 10-15 minutes. But for the sake of talking with you guys and trying to keep my mouth closed while I was working, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me at Southern Theory Designs. Again, my name is Missy. Have a good day. Peace.